What's going on? It's Fine Printingsworth, and this is
Midgie.
As it says right here. We're about to have some fun.
Talk about one of our guilty pleasures.
Right, we're about to talk about one of her guilty pleasures. You know,
Love is Blind fans, before you go any farther in this video, if you have not watched all 6 episodes of season 6, the new season they just released, stop the video right here and come back whenever you've watched all 6 episodes, okay? Because there will be a little bit of spoilers. Now, if you're not a Love is Blind fan, if you made it to this point, keep watching because, I mean, who doesn't love us? I mean,
yeah, there you go. I mean, you can enjoy what we're doing, what we're talking about.
All right, so couple number 3. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like every single season now, they have to have a blonde villain. Like, I feel like there has to be a blonde villain in like the last few seasons, you know? And this time it's Laura. I don't care what anybody says. There's something definitely really off about this woman. And it started from even before the pods, before her connection with Jeramey. I say that with quotes because I'm not really digging that either. But how she talked about in the house with the other women, how she meets men at bars, you know, explaining how she would, you know, drop things in front of them, or how she would just stare at them across the bar, like, you know, until
she got a reaction out of them.
Yeah, so very weird.
Yeah, she didn't seem like she had like any like real character about her. Like, you know, like go have a conversation with somebody, get to know them, introduce yourself. It was just like very childish ways to try to pull someone into your world. You know, it's like if you're into somebody, let them know you're into them. Don't just stare at them like a crazy person.
It definitely comes across as like somebody that tries to connect with somebody over physical things.
Right.
Whereas, I'm sorry, but then you're on the wrong show, because like that's what you're not supposed to be doing here. So anyway, so she connects with Jeramey, which he's an okay guy, but definitely there's something a little weird with him too. I can't quite place my finger on it. There was just nothing. I mean, he also connected with a woman named Sarah Ann, but both situations with Laura, the woman that he eventually proposed to, and Sarah Ann, I don't really feel like things were that deep. No. He did talk to Sarah Ann about his father passing away and wanting to take her, you know, to his grave in Florida. And he talked about how he would spend a day there, like read a book and things like that. He was very close with his father. I thought that was super sweet. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong because I don't really remember, but he did not have that type of conversation with Laura whatsoever and still chose her for whatever reason. I don't get it. But then again, Sarah Ann was also emotionless, how you said, you know.
She would just answer things without any emotion for the most part. She'd just be like, yeah, you know, oh, I would. No, I wouldn't. It wasn't like the stuff where you feel something in your heart and you can like hear this person talking to you and you're like really getting to know them to like the depths of a person. Right. And she just seemed like, it almost seemed like she was like an AI or something computerized. I would have liked to see her actually humanize herself a bit more, show some more expression.
Don't get me wrong, she did when he was speaking about his father, and she was like, oh my gosh, you know, thank you for sharing that with me. Like, I would love to do that with you. But then when it came time to him choosing Laura, it was just like she was completely shut off, like no emotion. And maybe that's how she protects herself. So I will give her the benefit of the doubt on that.
If you ain't show much emotion the whole time, now's not the time to show emotion when you find out you didn't get picked. And she kept it gangster.
Came across as like not caring.
Right.
Like, okay, all right.
Right.
Well, next.
Because she even asked, she said, why did you not, can I ask why you didn't pick me? And then he answered and she's like, oh, okay. that was it.
Yeah, so that was Sarah Ann. But again, he picked Laura. I think that she's this season's villain because the moment that he proposed and they go to meet each other for the first time and the doors flew open and I could immediately tell that he probably wasn't her type, right? Okay, cool, whatever. So then they get to the Dominican Republic and immediately she's making demands of him that he's no longer allowed to wear Hawaiian shirts, which are his thing. He loves Hawaiian shirts. Okay, cool. It wouldn't be my thing either. But at the same time, first of all, you're just meeting this person for the first time. He told you this in the pods, that Hawaiian shirts were his thing. So why now all of a sudden that's not cool with you anymore, and you think suddenly you have some sort of authority over who he is as a person? I don't like that. Okay, and then number 2, one of the connections that he had with his father was his father's motorcycle, and there was, you know, probably some like special memories maybe that he had with his father. She immediately said no motorcycles. Absolutely no motorcycles. Like, oh my gosh. So it's just red flag after red flag. I feel like that situation's gonna spiral because right now he's like trying to convince himself because he keeps saying things like, oh, she's the one, she's the one. No, honey, spiraled. I think that it's not.
The last thing they showed was him walking off. Remember?
Oh yes, that he was done.
He said, "I'm ready to leave." She was like, "You ready to go home or back to the room?" He said, "I'm ready to go home."
Yes, and that was after the whole bean dip situation.
Right.
So again, I'm telling you, this woman is a villain. Okay. So there's another woman on the show who we're going to talk about next. Another one of the couples. Her name is AD. Okay, just the letter A, the letter D. Okay. And I loved her. I think that she's great. But apparently her and Laura had some sort of friendly relationship in the house.
They were cool. They were girlfriends.
You know, and sometimes friends play around. I don't play around like this with my friends, but maybe some people do. And, you know, if that's your thing, cool. But Laura, the villain of the show, decided to slap AD's breast, and she calls it a bean dip. And I guess maybe apparently they joked around about it. It was their inside joke or something, according to Laura. However, all the couples were meeting at a mixer for the first time, and Laura told her new fiance, Jeramey, dared him to bean dip her at the mixer. Jeramey is sitting with AD's fiance, Clay. They're just having like a bro conversation, and Jeramey brings it up that Laura dared him, and he was just like that is super crazy. I was just like, no, like I would get canceled, like I would never do anything like that.
AD came over there first and she sat down with them, and then that's when they all shared the situation.
Yeah, and obviously AD felt uncomfortable.
A certain way about that.
And then also Clay, her fiance, it seemed like he was getting a little fidgety in his seat too, because like, how dare you dare another man to do that to his fiance, right? I can imagine how he felt in that moment,
that situation. Right? Yeah, because I mean, especially if your ego and as a man and everything else, you want to like, you want to publicly humiliate, you know, me and my woman. You know, what makes you think that this is okay? What makes you think that we would just allow that? Like, what's something to be played with?
In Jeramey's defense, like, he definitely was 100% against it. I don't think that he had any ill intent whatsoever in bringing it up in that moment. I really don't. However, once Laura got involved in that situation, all she kept saying was, "It's a joke. It was a joke. It's an inside joke. It's a joke. It's a joke." And it's like, no one else here thinks that this is a joke. AD handled it very well. She definitely put Laura in her place, like very respectfully, just the things that she was saying.
Right.
And then Laura got upset and was just like, it's giving children or something. You know, basically saying that they're all being childish.
Like children, they're immature about it. They don't know what a joke is. But it's like, yo, if you're the only one that's laughing about it, maybe you're the only one that feels like it's a joke. And you got to be able to read the room and be able to understand it. Yo, maybe what I did was a bit insensitive. Maybe it was disrespectful. And then you got to apologize for it. But don't just be like, oh, y'all can't take a joke. Something's wrong with y'all. And I'm not going to apologize for it because it's not my fault that y'all don't know how to take a joke. And even
this situation definitely correlates into how she behaves in trying to get men to begin with. Because in this situation, she's got an inflated ego. She's very prideful. So very weird. Again, I think she's the villain. I don't care if I'm the only one in America who thinks so. I'm sure that I'm not. So anyways, we talked a little bit about AD and Clay.